Hi, this is a,
Hello.
how are you guys doing? This is a cosmic joke. We have more Ascension updates that we're going to be doing. I'm going to let Allison take the lead because she definitely has a list for us, and then we'll go over the current energies for today for the full moon. Happy full moon, and it's on the Friday the 13th, so this should be interesting and fun. Lots of releasing too as well, so release as much as possible. You'll have a lot of review coming through definitely since last night, and then for today, and then they're also saying on the 14th lots of review. So the reviewing, just all the thoughts and different scenes and memories, probably I would say in the last 6 months is being let go. Anything fresh is going to be coming to the surface to be released in all relationships too, as well, is what I picked up. So what do
That's
you have,
true.
Allison?
Well, it's in the middle of a big wave that hit us all yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly, again, I know we've not talked about symptoms yet, but it's like my head is the complete top of my head and above my head. I actually laughed feeling like a cone head, like you talked about in the last video. It's like it hurts above my head more than it hurts in my head, but it was
Yeah.
just crazy. It was just crazy.
Oh no, you could feel it yesterday. I think it was like around 4 o'clock Eastern time. I sat there and I was like sitting, I was like, whoa, like I could feel it because first it starts as like you kind of feel like you're going in fight or flight, but it's
Yeah.
not. It's and that's more of the human term. You can feel all your cells and like the molecules start to vibrate inside, and it feels like it can come off as invasive energies. That's something that I just learned is where you think that you are picking up on invasive energies at the time. And that's what you feel like. You feel like almost like something's off. It's actually your cells vibrating and getting rid of all the density and all of everything that's coming up. So that's how it starts a little bit throughout your whole body. And you're like, whoa. And then I just went into a huge, like you feel like you're just like sitting there just like laying. I'm like, I need alkaline water like now. Like I need to drink probably about a gallon of water. Yeah. Did you get it? I went and got 2 jugs like 2 days before because my counsel was like, you need alkaline water stat. And I was like, okay. So I went and got my 3 jugs. And then today I can understand why. I
This
mean,
one
the
was a
way
9.5. Dollar General had 9.5 waters as well.
they did,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go look at that. So,
Yeah.
and those are the ones for people that are watching that are always on a budget, like we are for right now, right? That's what I say for now. Um, that's you can get it. Walmart sells the 88 alkaline water, and then also what Dollar General.
Publix has the 8.8, and
Yeah.
then Dollar General has the 9.5s.
Yep.
I didn't see the 8.8s at Dollar General, but they have distilled water there that's like $1 for a gallon or something. So
Yeah. And then I
they
was
have.
looking at baking. You can actually put baking soda in the water for alkaline, so you can actually make your own alkaline water too if you have to.
Let
And it's
me do
really
some.
really important.
Yes. Well,
So
it's interesting when you were just talking about, feeling that it's like we're taking on something of other people's. My crew started laughing, and they're like, how many, kind of, well, how they laugh at me anyway. But it's like, how many times have we blamed it on somebody else as though I'd taken on their energy when it was
yeah.
actually only my energy that matched theirs that was coming up to look at and be released.
Yeah.
And I thought it was because someone else was in my space
Are
and I was
you
taking on energy.
Yep. Or you think you're being psychically attacked?
Yep.
You think there's an
Well,
entity around?
inside,
You're running around going,
yep.
I feel like I'm being attacked. Something's off. Something's wrong. Damn right it's off. You're changing. You're upgrading. And it took me almost 2 years to figure that out. And my counsel sitting there, and this is how much you can see how much of resistance I was, where I ignored what they were saying. And they're like, there isn't an ascension wave coming through. Nothing is happening to you. You are going through a major upgrade right now. And I was like, you guys are lying because of all the belief systems and everything that I've researched between, and then working on people myself about like, those removals and then psychic attacks and all this stuff. And it's just belief systems. So you automatically go into thinking you're taking on someone's energy, or someone is sending you something, or, you know, which I want to get into something on that in just a minute. So make a note of somebody sending you something. They want me to touch base on that subject. Anyways, but like just certain belief systems. And my counsel is sitting here, and I can hear like there's no tomorrow, okay? And they're sitting there going, that's not what's happening. You're going through a major upgrade right now. You're releasing on a cellular level. So this is what's showing you what is in your body. And the fear that's coming up and what you're feeling is actual fear programming that needs to be released. You can breathe through it. Now it does get really intense. It depends on what level you're at and how open you are too as well, where I'll get like actual visuals probably of like karmic stuff, almost like a movie in front of my face, very much like remote viewing of what is going on. What am I releasing on a cellular level? So that can be a little bit crazy and very bizarre on top of it. But that's something that they want us to know. So that's how it starts. And I'll let you continue on what you were going to say.
Well, yeah, you're correct, because it's like, if we can remember that it's not happening to you, it's happening in you.
Yeah, yeah. They're also saying that comes from victim programs too, where you feel like you're being attacked, or you feel like you need to shield all the time. That's victim programs that are running. That's a control. So those are things that need to be released too, also on a deep cellular level, not just through the ego. You can release it through the ego, but this is on a deep, deep, deep cellular level. It could be karmic, it could be genetic, it could be something that across all time and space, because we know how everything's running, that you are releasing also for your multidimensional self across all time and space. There we go. It's like, and it's on a deep cellular level. So those are things too that you're going to be releasing. And then soul group, etc. Go ahead, Allison, because they're making a list as I'm sitting here speaking.
Because it becomes, again, we have to really, we don't have to do anything. It is beneficial to be able to see that, all the outward things that I've blamed, or people that I've blamed, because again, it's my issue. I only have a problem with what's going on because it's an issue of something that I have. And you're right, when these things start coming up and we're clearing and detoxing on a cellular level, it's the reminder to people that every experience you've had in your life is being touched by these waves, because all of it has to be either raised up to a higher vibration that is in alignment with your soul. We'll just call it soul to make it easy for normal language, to be able to be in your body. And if whatever is running in your body is not equal to a vibration that the soul is in alignment with, it has to go.
Yep.
I mean, that's just it. The soul's just moved into, the house of you and said, house cleaning, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. And the human is having some problems with that.
Yeah, it's the human self that's not under, it's the human self, and then also the ego, which is more the protection database, I call it, that is going into, that is feeding the human, and the human is just, it's like this good back and forth type of communication, that is going on. Also, like, we're taking on major solar plasma photonic light right now. And the ones that I would say that have probably been through this process in the past like 5 years are probably the ones that are taking it on a lot, because the more light your body can hold, the more is going to come in. Your higher selves, are not going to give you what you cannot handle, and that's hands down. If your higher self or higher selves, the one that's coming through for this integration, I'm sorry, I have to correct my wording, is not, if it feels like this human form can take on extra photonic light, it's going to release it. It's kind of like it's a piggy bank. It's like an account. It's the same thing as when I'm doing my light code transmissions, and when I'm communicating from their higher self and I'm giving them the codes, it's the same thing. The higher self is going to store those codes up and release them and for integration when you need them. But if your higher self is saying, let's do it, let's catch this person up, you know, let's turn it on, that's exactly what it's going to do. And it's going to cleanse and clear. And so if you're able to hold more light, then that's what it wants to do. It's the point is what they're showing me is that they want the human form, okay, and all throughout the bodies, but also the human form to be able to hold more photonic light. And that's something that that's what they're showing me right now. So it can get a little bizarre, crazy.
A little, quite bizarre. Which I think is for those that are just awakening in this new cycle of all the ones that are just awakening. The biggest thing that I think that we can get across is you are different than your body.
Mm-hmm.
Period. When we go step back and we look at it, and it's like, I, as my soul self that I am, floating around going, hey, let's go have an experience. I want to go learn something, or I want to go help people, or I want to go do whatever it is I want to do. And we go before a council, and the council's like, okay, cool, we can do that. Well, can we add this in there for you to do too? Would you consider this? And you're like, sure, sure, sure. And it's almost as though they take so long. You're like, come on, I just want to go. Let me go. Let me have a body, please. Let me get into a human. They're like, all right, well, how about you want to tackle this for us too? Okay, just give me whatever you want to. I just need to get into a body to go have my fun, to go do what I want.
Yeah.
And then you're born, you know, and it's like they will pick, because this is what I wanted to learn, this is what I wanted to experience, and they're like, okay, well, this is the place on the planet, this is the genetic group, this is the culture, this is the this, and we found a perfect body for you, go. And then we get here and we have amnesia, and we go through the whole experience of what the heck is happening. And I know many of us can remember as children going, something's not right here.
Yeah.
You know, something's not right. But we get so programmed that the ego, the personality, becomes our guardian, that we rely on so much that when we go through our lives, and for many that, you know, say are now 20, 30, 40, 60, 80, however they are in the awakening period, that ego personality has been your safety. It has been your guardian. It has been what has kept you protected. And anytime you tried to move or step outside of what it knew the parameters were and what the result was, it would almost act like a saboteur, or it would act like a saboteur going, no, you don't want to do that. We can't, you know, give you details on how that's going to come out and what's going to be the ending point, so I don't want you to do it. And so the ego personality has been in charge, and we allowed it because we didn't know any differently. That when you wake up, you really begin to see that your own beliefs and what your truths are, according to the ego personality, are not in resonance with who you really are. Yep. And that's what the majority of everyone's work is when they wake up, because it becomes, how do I differentiate between the two? How do I really start looking? And I completely disagree with, this is me personally, you know, getting rid of the ego, trying to kill the ego, trying to do whatever. For
you can transform it to work with you.
Exactly. And that's what I find has been the most beneficial, is in talking to the ego yourself, you know, the ego personality side of you that has all these roles of mother, father, brother, sister, worker, you know, whatever it is that we've done, because those are roles in time. And working with our ego self and going, I understand your concerns. I can see that you don't know what the outcome is going to be. Can we work together on this? And it becomes a partnership, which is what we want. Because when we have that ego personality in balance, in alignment with the soul aspect of ourselves, they're a beautiful team. Absolutely a beautiful team. Because the ego loves to research. It loves to find things. It loves to do things. That when it's on a soul level, I can just keep my ego busy. Hey, will you go see what other, you know, avenues of abundance can I find? What other cool things can I research? You know, what else should I, you know, have fun experiencing? And give it a positive thing to go look for, instead of it in its constant filing system. Right now, for most people, the ego is just going back through what's from the past. We pull it out of the filing cabinet. Nope, don't you remember when you did this? Don't you remember when they did this? Don't you remember? Don't you remember? And it becomes trying to shift out of, I'm awake now, things are different, the energies are different, the times are different, the quantum field is different, and I no longer wish to keep going through that same cycle of what was. Because we're seeing firsthand, I would say, what, in the last month, how it has just rolled forward. These energies do not support old systems. They do not support old beliefs, and it is just, everything's being knocked out from under everybody.
Yep.
So.
It's true. It's a lot of stuff that's coming up. I just sit there and move it, because the ego will start coming in and you can see it going, giving you the list. And I'm like, I see that. Thank you. But we're releasing this now. These are old programs. You also have to take full responsibility of yourself and your actions. So everything that's coming up, you can see what programs are running, because you'll start to feel the emotional turn of it, and then the mental. You'll go through the emotions, but you have to sit there and realize that you're responsible. You have to be responsible for your actions. It doesn't matter if it was like a month ago or 3 months ago or today or what. Just, you have to become full and you have to be responsible, for your actions, and realize that everything is just, those are your decisions that you made. So let's just move them and shift them as fast as possible. A lot of things that I see coming up now is definitely the victim mentality. Okay. Those programs are being pulled to the surface. Any type of blaming is going to be pulled to the surface. I know your third eye is showing. Can you see mine? Look.
Oh my gosh.
And these are with relationships. So all relationships right now are definitely under review. All relationships are all under review. And what is it? So it's okay. So the victim programming is something that I see coming up. And then lack programming, which I think kind of goes hand in hand, is coming up too right now, which is great. And this is in all relationships. Blaming, programs are coming up too. So there's a lot of that stuff is just being pulled up. A lot of things that are keeping us in the separation duality mode is being basically pulled up. If you could just go in and break it down and just realize, I choose not to believe in this anymore. All you have to say is that this is not who I am, so you can take it. And what I've been doing, which you taught me with with my grandma's knowledge, I call it.
I got all
Grandma's a soul group. I'm like, get moving so we can move. No, okay. I have to sleep now for almost a month. I need you to move forward.
I am.
I know. I'm like, if you do more work, then we can sit and integrate. Right? The grandma's a soul group. What was I saying? I lost it.
See, that's what you get for picking on me.
I know. It was really good too. Damn. All right. We'll come back.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Now, that's funny. They were like, ha ha ha.
I wrote the note about sending you something. You wanted me to remind you of
that. That's so funny. I lost it. So this is something that my counsel, now this is just the way that my counsel has taught me for almost a year. Okay. There is somehow between, the 3D, and this is my counsel speaking, speaking this through. There is a belief system in the 2D, 3D, and 4D where you feel like you have to reverse and return these energies to the person. That is a 3D program, and that is a 4D program that is running. Now, 4D, you have to understand, is still between the separation and duality. Once you're able to realize that and you become more into unity, that's where you start hitting the 5D. Okay? So what they're explaining on certain programs that are running is that is not the proper way, and that's not how they train me. Now, the way that they train me is that regardless if you know and if you are aware and you have the sight, is what they call it, and where you can feel invasive energies. They don't call them negative, invasive energies that are coming in. You do not return them to senders. or to people or to whatever magic beliefs. Oh yeah, they're like all down the line, across time and space. They're like, let's get this nipped in the butt, please. Because what they want to show, what the big picture that they're showing is that you can take those energies and you can release them into the universe or back up to source to be transmuted, okay? You can transmute the energies, not sending them back, because what they're showing, and this is something they really want to express, what they are showing is the ping pong effect. So when you're sitting there sending it back to somebody, you're going to boom get it back, because this is you. If you're still residing in a 3D and 4D program, dimensional frequency, okay? And this is something they really want to express. So this is the karmic laws that we're sitting in right here, is what they're explaining. So what's going to happen is when you see, okay, yeah, they sent it to you, well, okay, well, when you send it back, all you're doing is just creating the karma. So it's all it is just ping pong. It's a ping pong game is what they show me. They'll literally will show the game ping pong and how it keeps going boom, 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 boom. And that's what they want to express. So if you could just take the energies and transmute them, okay, back into the universe or back to source, and just clear the energies, you know. Those are that they are showing me. And then cut cords. If you actually are able to see where the energy is coming from, cut the energetic cords and bring in your counsel to stop from stopping it from happening. You can cut these energetic cords, because energy goes both ways. There's something that needs to be learned here. Now, okay, they're like, okay, let's raise higher. They're like, well, let's go higher. Okay. Good. So as we move higher, what are you supposed to learn from this situation? Why is there the back and forth going? What are you holding on? Look within. Really look within. There's something that is being shown to you. If you can actually raise up in a hawk's view, you'll be able to see what is being shown to you. Where is this coming from? Why are you attracting these frequencies? These frequencies, the reason why you're attracting these frequencies, because this is internally inside of you. A lot of people will, you know, at their belief system in the point in time will be like, well, why would that, I don't understand that. Well, once you get to a certain level, you'll understand. Okay. This is processes that you need to go through to understand, why are you learning this experience? What do you need to clear out inside of you? Why are you attracting these frequencies? Why are you in this victim mentality? Why are you still in this victim program? Okay, so this is something that and you can go into your belief system, but this is something that they're explaining to me, because a lot of this stuff they are explaining has to do with victim programming and also inner traumas. But go ahead, I'll let you take the.
No, that's what I mean, because my crew is saying as well. To remember, this is on a cellular level, and it is in your cells, and you have to remember again, your cells were created from where? Your parents, and theirs from their parents. So on a cellular level and genetic level, that is passed on through you. Even our programmings are passed on at genetic cellular level. So you may say, you know, this is being sent to me. This has not been my experience. I don't understand what this is. I don't know, you know, I didn't do anything like this. Why is it coming to me? Again, when we look at it as though it's a gift, because there is some, you know, 1, 2, 10 cells, whatever it is in your body that's a match to that. Otherwise, it wouldn't be brought into your reality. And it was brought there so that you can clean it up, so that you don't pass it on to your children, your grandchildren, so that on a cellular level, you resolve the problem. Your kids and grandkids and on down the line don't have to deal with it. Yep. So it becomes, thank you. Thank you for sending me whatever crap you just wanted to try to send me. I'm going to clean it up. I send you love, and I get it out of me.
Which it can also be, it's obviously genetic. And that's where your book is going to come beautiful in hand, about getting rid of all those programmings, because it also could be from other lifetimes. It could be from your genetic line, and you have the capability, and that's what another assignment that you came in here for is actually clearing. That's the reason why a lot of us are in mutt. I call them mutt bloodlines. We have about 10 or 15 different type of genetic bloodlines that are going through us. Is because that's what we came in here to do. We came in to clear and transmute. Like, so That's what they wanted to explain, because I did, it really came the other day, is when it's not something, a few things that were shown to me, it's not being taught properly. So a lot of people, all that's basically being done is just it's a ping pong effect. At this point in time, if you are raising to the fifth dimension and higher frequencies, it does not play there. That's not the proper way to start doing things. But that's something of a belief system that you have to work inside of you, and then you have to raise higher, and etc. What I was saying before. I'm not going to keep going into it, but they've been training me like that for like 2 years now, 3 years, like saying, no, that's not, this is what you got to do.
And we're not talking about abuse either, because it's wrong. I mean, not well, wrong. It is not beneficial to the human form to go through any type of abuse.
Yeah.
And if you are going through any type of abuse, mental, physical, sexual, whatever it happens to be, do your best to remove your physical form from that situation.
Yep.
Work through, I mean, either one of us will happily help work you through whatever you need to from that standpoint on an energetic or emotional level to clear it, because but you can't begin to heal and to release some of those things when you're in that constant barrage, as we both know, of like, oh my gosh, I'm just trying to survive right now.
Yeah.
Just to keep myself going, and then we're not able to get to the really releasing that we need to do, because we are kept in a victim mode.
Some people don't even know that they're in that type of environment either. Or they do know and they have the awareness, but they're such in survival mode that they don't want to leave the situation, or they're worried that something's going to happen, or that maybe there's a family, they have children, or whatever it is. And it's a lot of programming, and they feel like they won't be able to survive, or their whole world could come tumbling down. And I definitely resonate with that, and I completely understand that, definitely. And so for some, and then there's some, okay, let's see, my counsel says, and then there's some that are programmed so programmed that they don't see that they're in a victim, in an abuse, or even violent physical abuse, or even a sexual abuse environment too, as well. So, and for some reason they think that's okay from the programmings that we have.
And we've got a lot on this planet that are being released from a lot of those situations with the trafficking, that are going to need a lot of work. And a lot of us are just really going to have to find that next level of compassion, because many people have been raised like that since childhood, that this is the acceptable norm.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, we're talking about what is someone's truth, what is right is wrong, that answer is so different all the way across the board. Because if you're raised that this is the right and proper way to act and to be, even though it's completely against normal society, I mean, who's right and who's wrong?
Some of them don't even know, because it's been conditioned for so long, or thinking that they did something wrong too, so, and that they deserved it, or they deserve these type of things.
But I'm grateful a lot of coming to light, and hey, step up, next level. And that's one of the next levels that I'm going to be providing as well, is my session work for those of us that do sessions. Because I realize that so many of us, it's like, okay, the light workers, or whatever we want to call it, the coaches, the counselors,
they need it, we're being called big time to step in. Go ahead.
And so that's the next level of what I'm being asked to do, is to be the counselor for the counselor, the coach for the coach, and to offer that, okay, I understand, you guys get out there and do the frontline work, let me help you out on the back end. So that's exciting too. I enjoy it.
Yeah, they call us the frontliners. Well, my group is the front lines.
Grandma here gets to do the next level stuff.
Go in and move like that, and then you can teach later.
I think all my glitter, I think that's from you.
Yeah, the glitter. Oh, so we're crystallizing. Everyone to know, okay, this is something welcome to going back to our original blueprint, okay? So, your hands will start sparkling in gold colors. It could be from gold to pink. It depends on what you're integrating at this point in time. You'll start seeing crystals. I had someone come to me that doesn't even know that they are going through an ascension process, that doesn't even know anything, and said, "What is wrong with my hands?" I had to sit there and give him a list of things to research, and I'm like, this is what's happening. You're a star seed, number one. We'll start there. You're in ascension process. So I sent there and I sent him everything that he needs to know, but had no idea. And his hands were full of beautiful crystals. And I was like, this is so cool. I was like, and he doesn't even know. And he's like, can you please tell me what is going on with my hands, please? I mean, his was full of crystals. And then you are going to see them on your physical body, okay? And you'll see them on your chest. Like I'm getting mine all here. Your hair is going to start turning white. You could be 20 years old or even child, what they're showing me. Children's hair will start turning white. And these are mostly the new children also that are coming in right now. So we have a lot of them actually are coming in with really pure white hair anyways, from what I've seen and observed. So you're going to see that, and then you're like my gray's really showing. I'm like, it's your crystal hair.
They're glitters. They're glitters. I call them glitters.
It's your glitters everywhere. So your hair, those are things that are going to happen. So it looks beautiful. It starts off as white sheer, and it starts off as dry skin. And this was about I would say like a year and a half ago, I started noticing the dry skin. I'm like, why is my skin so dry? When you actually sit there and you go out into the sun, you're going to see it starts off as sheer, and it's beautiful sheer color, like makeup. You can take all your makeup off for women that want to actually, if you're going to go into doubt, that's fine. Take your makeup off and then start really go out into the sun and start looking at your body, and you're going to see that you're going to be crystallizing. And then my feet are peeling.
The newest one is the feet. Absolutely.
My feet are peeling, but I can see the crystals all over it. So my feet, for some reason, are going through a major upgrade right now. I didn't really ask too many questions of what it is, but I was like, okay, so my feet are peeling all over. And they're like, yep, it's a part of the crystal. When you crystallize, it's a part of the crystallization process. Also, some of us will get rashes too, all over the body too.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, and then your third eye will start protruding.
Yeah, no, tell me about it. It's done that for a few years, yeah, but it's getting bigger or more.
It's getting big. What if it goes? What if our heads just start going up like the original Egyptian look? By the way, we're not crowns. That was actually their head.
And that's what I wonder about my head being like, my head is over here. It's like, that's where my head is hurting, is above where there's no head.
I have the Syrians laughing right now, and they think that was funny, by the way. They're sitting, and they're like, and also all the gold was actually the skin. It's what the skin looked like, which is the crystallization, what we're going back onto. We are not, they call it the new human. I call it the old human. We're going back to what we used to be, which is, it's an angelic, if you want to call it angelic race in the human language, that's what they're explaining. We are an angelic race. We all are. There's no
the term of the golden age is an improper translation. It was really the golden race.
Mm-hmm.
We are returning to the golden race.
We are returning to the golden race. And you can actually see the gold. You will see the gold in your hands. A lot of people are starting off in the hands from what I noticed, but maybe there's other people that are starting off on different parts of the body. If you really want to get a full effect of it, go stand out in the sun and really start observing your body and start looking, okay? Because this is what we're going back to, and it's really cool.
It's important as well. We all need sun time every day anyway, so you can, even in the snow, get some sun.
Get some sun, go stand out there. Yeah. Not in a tanning bed. My counsel's funny. Not a tanning bed. So funny. What else do you got? I can't believe I lost what I had before. Go ahead.
I think you were talking about something I was teaching you, and then you went into the grandma taught me something, but I don't know what.
Oh, thank you. I got it back. There we go. Okay. I got it. Okay. So what I've been doing with everything that's coming up, okay, which I told you a lot of the, victim programs, all relationships, blaming, and, whatever the stories that keep trying to reside that I've been clearing for the past 4 months of clearing, because a lot of stuff is fresh. So you just keep pulling up all these things. I sit there and I go into my oversoul and I tell my oversoul, I said, I want you to file this, purify it, heal it, and return it. Go file it up into my database, okay? Because I'm releasing this now and right now. This does not serve me. I want you. So I send everything to my oversoul. But see, I was actually in alignment with my oversoul. I actually was able to access my oversoul. So I'm actually able to hear my oversoul at this point. I'll be working on the Christ. They actually asked me to work on the Christ soul. Actually today they're like, are you ready to start working with this yet? I was like, I was like, what's gonna happen to me before I agree to this? You know how that works. I was like, can you give me an idea? Give me a video. So so you take it and I just say, I'm filing this now, because you'll see how everything starts writing, and I'm like, I want you to file it and purify it, and I give it to my oversoul, because the oversoul is above our higher selves. And I'm like, I need you to file this. And then probably tonight I'll be going in and passing the baton through my higher selves to clear everything for them as well, and just to keep it. But it needs to go to the oversoul to be filed and purified. I was like, this is done. Thank you. You can have this, keep this file, because a lot of our stuff goes up to our oversoul. All of our experiences and everything, our learning experiences, go to the oversoul as well. It's like a database.
Additional thing that I've added to that is, and allow me access if it's for my highest. Because there's a lot of stuff. I mean, when I file at the end of the day, because I do the same thing at the end of the day, just file all that. I learned what I learned, to get rid of all the emotional, purify it so that it doesn't come back up. And if it does come back up, it's only as a fact stream, not that emotional. And then I just added, if it's not even to my highest, I just don't want access.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I say.
It's making stuff I've forgotten, or I don't recall, or don't remember, and I'm like, wow, I guess it just doesn't even matter. So
no, that's another thing that, my counsel's like, there's no point in going and digging further. Just, if you can't remember it, that's a good thing. So, all right, keep going, because I lost something again. By the way, you go through memory loss, and that's normal.
You do,
I know, if you can't remember it, then there's a reason why you can't remember it. Okay, so.
Part of that's because we're upgrading from the me that was me yesterday, or the me that was me 20 years ago, and all the things, the experiences, and whatever happened. I mean, it's like, if I learned the lesson, great. And I got to the point with my oversoul, I'm like, if I didn't learn the lesson, just file it away somewhere. I've got things to do now. Let's just keep going forward. Implement everything that I have learned, everything that I have done, everything that I've experienced, and we just wipe all the emotional crap from it, and we keep going. We just keep going.
We have major quantum leap coming. My counsel keeps saying, expect the unexpected. And they keep saying this over and over again. And then I have my funny grin, and I'm just like, what? Like, I sit there and I'm like, me, I'm going, what? Like that. I'm like, what is the unexpected? That's another reason why we're getting the feeling. It feels like kind of like your skin's crawling. Like I said, it does feel like it's an invasive energy, but that's another thing with it's actually your, the vibration of molecules. Like, we're clearing, releasing on a huge level, so we can quantum leap. So they're like, when this starts coming up, now I know I'm about to go into a huge quantum leap. I'm about to jump somewhere, like something big is about to is about to happen. It doesn't have to be an event, but something big. I am shifting to a really high timeline, or well, that's what I'm thinking it is. But we all are. So we're all being cleared completely so we can jump. We can jump into a higher dimension, higher frequency. We're about to do a huge jump, and you'll know by the intensity of it. You will see when the more intense that it is, the more you're about to do a huge jump, that something big is about to change.
Because it's the image of the slingshot. And as long as it keeps pulling to the part where it's like so, bam.
You can see it go like this. It goes, woo, and you're like on the end of it going, ready?
Like, interesting because you just said, expect the unexpected. I think it was yesterday when in one of the messages it was probably a Freudian slip, which is actually beautiful at this moment, that said, accept the unaccepted.
Is that what I said?
Yes. And I went, okay, accept the unaccepted.
That's what I wrote.
It is. And so I was just really,
That's funny. I didn't even realize I did that, which that's pretty cool.
Yes, it was really cool.
So accept the unaccepted. Great. I'm like, what are they getting us into now? Last time that this happened, okay, there was a major what the fuck just happened type of deal. And I feel like that is coming by the 17th, where it's like, what just happened? What just happened? Like you can see it and you're just like, phew. And now I'm kind of like, there's been so many that I'm just like, I don't even think I'll be like that anymore. I'm going to be like, okay, this is cool.
I think so too. I don't see you having an issue through this next shift of, even to the Christ soul. I think you know that first experience and you're aware of what to look out for. You're aware of, some things that many people aren't aware of.
I hit the Christ soul very high in 2013. So I'm very familiar with that frequency. I'm very familiar with the Christed Sophia too. Feeling. I pull it in. I'm very, very I'm able to get access there and then go back down, but it's only because my physical body is not up to par, and I'm not going to push it. I'm going to let everything be cleared the way that it's supposed to be, instead of being, because I go up and all the way and then back down, and it's fine. It's maintaining the level, maintaining the balance, and getting there and maintaining it is what definitely is being worked on right now.
Yeah, and the majority, I can't say all because nothing is all from that standpoint. The majority of our Christed souls reside, for lack of a better term, or interplay within quadrant 4. So there is some really massive differences in the vibrations of that through quadrant 4, but now you can do it.
Okay.
Like,
I'm sitting here, I'm just chuckling because I'm like,
in our human linear terms, quadrant 4 would be the beginning of the 81st dimension. So what? That's fine.
That's high. I went all the way to 36, and I almost lost it, Allison.
That's a quadrant.
Oh wait, I lost it like 20 years ago. Wait, no, that's too. I was still in programming then. No, I would say like 10, almost. We're going to like 7 years ago. There you go. 7 years.
The difference is, though, in quadrant 4, in quadrant 2, where my home is, but in quadrant 4, we're not actually. It's a different stream, and we know the portal jumps. We know how to do that. We know how to go through our own stargates, and that's it's a little different on the dimensional, because we don't spend a tremendous amount of time in that frequency and that energy, but there is a step down between. But hey,
Yeah.
conversation for another time, I guess. Huh?
Yeah. We'll do that. We can do that on Sunday.
That's
Let's
a good
go
idea.
make a note of that, and let's go into that, and then we'll go into Stargates too. They want us to touch base on the Stargates as well. And then going into higher dimensions. You'll know when you're in a higher dimension because you're like, well, I can't move. Everything feels really off. Why do I feel like this? That's funny.
And you enjoy it so much that you stay too long that when you actually come back into your physical form, I mean, I had headaches for days. It was like, oh, my body just could not handle it. The physical form was not able to maintain being that frequency for that long. Which is,
Yeah.
You learn.
It's a learning experience or an experiment.
Yeah.
Once you show the galactic councils that you can do it. Expansion, it's also in the space. That's another thing that they were explaining. It's also the space of expanding that far out, expanding through the universe, and then going all the way high up. And then when we get, it can be a little bit hard for us when we're put back into the physical body, but it's also environmental. If you're actually in a really sacred space, in your own sacred space, and your vibrational frequencies in your environment, let's say you're like your house, for instance, okay, your home, it's really high vibe. They're actually saying that it's the coming back down is not as hard as what they're explaining. The physical body will take some of a hit and a blow, but it's not going to be, you could probably bring some of that energy and maintain that frequency for a while. But it's completely, when you completely let go out of the physical body, I mean, you're going to be out of physical body, you're going to be flying very, very high up in the dimensions that you're going to, see the body here. And that is like, that's a major expansion, but it's also the human self, it's fearful of going that far and actually expanding out. If I want to, I'll go up and see what's going on. I'll expand my consciousness that far up to be able to go see, what's going on up there, what's going on with the different planets. I've been able to do that for almost 2 years now, going above Earth and seeing what's going on, and working from there. That's an expansion. That's where your conscious is expanding. We're so capable of doing so
Well, and
much.
many of us
It's not even
old
funny.
people, many of us old people here are the ones that built the grid that was in place around the earth anyway. I mean, I can remember having dreams and knowing throughout the night, and I've talked to other people as well that are in my age range, where when we were younger, I mean, we knew what we were building. We could see it light up as we were building it, and
Yep.
building the grid around this planet, which thankfully has now been removed, but it was necessary at the time. So it's like that, the work that we continue to do, once we realize we are awesome beings, and it's only the human programs that have made us think that we were worthless, that we couldn't accomplish anything, that we're not worth anything, whatever the words that we need to use for each individual person. It is so not true. It is absolutely not true. And all of that was a control mechanism to keep people from ascending, to keep
We're
people down
so
in this low space.
I remember during my first few years of awakening, I would sit like at a park, or I would sit and just watch people, like people watch, and I'm like, there's so much more to their potential than what they have no idea what they are. Like they just don't. And it's kind of like, it's not sad, okay? That's not the word for it. It's where you just sit and watch, and you hope for the tweak for them to actually see what their full potential is. That we're multidimensional beings, that you don't need to be in this type of programming. You are more than what you even think. And seeing people stress, even myself going into those programs and stressing, you have to do this, got to have this, got to pay the bills, got to work 40-50 hours a week, got to go to college. If I don't do this, like, it's like all this crazy, just mounds and mounds of stress, and they don't even realize what beautiful dimensional beings that they are. I would just sit there and watch, and just sit there and be like, they don't have no idea what their full potential is. And that's actually something that you do as a watcher and observer. You sit there and observe it,
Fear.
And then I realized that the reason why I was placed there is because I was downloading flight codes. So I go everywhere I go, you know, and everywhere we go, as far as the grid workers, the gatekeepers, and you know, the way showers, the key keepers, are actually, what we do is we go around and we download, and we just sit there and spread our light codes, and then we anchor in our frequencies too as well. So there's a lot of us that are doing it.
Absolutely. And the other important part of that is, yes, we're downloading the information down, but my crew always expresses, like we've talked about the filing, the upload and back up is just as important, because a lot of the races in the higher realms need intel. They need to know exactly what's going on a daily basis, on a moment to moment, energetically, you know, from all the stuff that we know. That as we relay information back to them of what we're seeing, they're able to make their own plans and adjustments to be able to assist us.
Yes.
Because a lot of times we're like, why aren't you helping? Why aren't you doing anything? You know, get your asses down here. We fucking need some help down here. And they're like, send us better intel. Because all we can do is come up with a plan based on what information you're giving us. And if you stand in your complaining, arguing mode in that energy and not removing it, releasing it, and transmuting it, we can't help.
Yeah.
They can step in and help. So it's like, relay it to us. Let us get our own plan so that we can assist the best that we can.
Yep. I relay all of my information to, everything goes back to the Andromeda Council. The Andromeda Council is definitely big time stepping in right now. And then the Guardian Alliance. You have the Auroric races, the Christed Guardian races, which they're all Guardian races. You have the Emerald. There's the Emerald Order, basically. And there's a lot of different beings that are coming in right now to assist right now. The Arcturians, of course. Those are the Arcturians are the crisis intervention. You know that, right? Council 7. Okay. Which is that's perfect. But there you have the Arcturians, and then you have the Arcturian Syrians, which is a mixed race. There's, you know, a lot of them. The Pleidians too are here. Did I say it right? That's how I say it. That's how they say it. Did I say it right?
For you, no? It is correct. That is right. That is your way of saying it.
If you look in a certain document, it says that it's Pleidians, not Pleidians. And they say Pleidians to me. So, right, guys? Yes. Which is just one of my higher selves from the Pleiades. Let us say it correct.
The Andromedans are the overseers, basically, that are seeing within this quadrant. They've kind of taken the command lead on being able to work through other races. So, I mean, we do have, there's probably at least 2.5 million different races from what I'm told within our quadrant. We have no idea, you know, of how many there actually are and what actually are. I do know, I think I added it to my book, that I'm hoping to get it published maybe within the next week. I haven't done much on it this week on the publishing end of things. But quadrant 8 on the 13th dimension, I guess we would call it, would be the Centaurians from Centaur. But it's a different group altogether. They are the overseers of the first dimension, dimension 13, within quadrant 8, which is
they
what we're
actually
doing.
They came to me. They're called the Centaurians. I actually was going to ask you about that. They literally came to me with their name like this, you know, spread out in my dream through my third eye. So I went to go find more research. It's not a lot of research. And then the blue avians too are stepping, are steppians. But these blue avians, so you have to understand there's a feline humanoid race there's an angelic feline humanoid race. Okay. And then there's the actual, these are two races, two angelic races. The original races. And then they are the angelic blue avians. So you have the angelic avians too as well. And these are old DNA. These are the old guardian groups. Go ahead.
And many of them, that's fine. Many of them have stepped down, I guess you could say, to a 12-dimensional resonance frequency to assist, because they are assisting in building that bridge between the 9th quadrant and the 8th quadrant, which is the whole purpose of our galaxy moving, of our Earth moving, of the poles and the whole bit. Because as soon as quadrant 9 is realigned and our galaxy and universes can pop into place properly in the proper alignment, We then have alignment, which is what the Centaurians and the Pleidians are working with together as 12th dimensional beings to have that full access to the 8th quadrant. And once we have that access, it automatically is like a kink out of the chain. And that's been part of the problem, because from quadrant 1 down to quadrant 9, it's all wonky on source energy, because source energy is above quadrant 1, obviously. And so with each of these adjustments that we make, we are just bombarded with a higher level of source of the light that comes through.
Yeah.
Which is now currently being, bounced through the galactic central sun, which is coming to us. I mean, it's amazing when you stop, for those that aren't doing the work or remembering the work, when you look at the, the refractiveness of like a pinball, of how, this mirror has to be here to bounce to this planet, to here, to this one, to whatever, to get these lights down to us. It's an intricate, amazing plan that has been in play for thousands, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years.
And they actually been trying to do it. For thousands and thousands of years, and they finally were like, we got it.
We did it.
Like, we did it. Like when they all were rushing in, I had all these, I told you the other day, and I had all these beings just like swarm in to me, and I'm like, what? Like that. And they're like, we have another mass awakening. And I'm like, okay, is this like what do you want me to do? Like, are we okay? What's going on? I was sitting there going, what is it? Like, it was so many of them that I was like, okay, thank you. I was like, is this a message or is this an urgent call? I was like, because I've never seen them so excited, like, just all coming in, and there were so many different ones. It was so cool, where they're just like, they're ecstatic because there's so many, especially the Guardian Alliance has been working for thousands of years. It's to save the souls, to be honest with you, the souls of Terra, and that's what they call them, and which are us, starseeds, and so on and so on. We'll go into the history another time, but let's make a note of that, because it's something that they were showing me. And then the what are they called, the Centaurians? How do you say that? Because they're new. Centaurians. Okay. I feel like they're not new. I feel like they're actually now just making themselves known to me, if that makes sense. It's like, okay, they're saying it's a harmonic universe change is what they're explaining. Like I told you, I was sleeping and they were taking me through all the different harmonic universes and moving me here and then here. So they just explained to me that it's a different, I'm in a different harmonic universe. So they're explaining that that's why they came in. So can you explain more about them real quick?
No, not really. They're too busy from what I'm getting, because of where we're at this point, because we've gotten to the end of the year and we're going to see some massive shifts. I could, but I mean, the biggest thing that they're wanting us to know is that keep doing our work. It's like they're working, and they turn around like, just do your fucking work, and get back to doing their own work.
So are they what are they, the overseers, or?
The overseers of the first dimension in quadrant 8, which we would translate as the 13th dimension, but they counted as first. Within quadrant 8, we have 12 dimensions in quadrant 9, and then in quadrant 8 they have 13 dimensions, but they start at 1 again, which we would actually consider 13. So it's like it starts all over again. So by the time you got through quadrant 2, we're at what was that, 25? Yeah, 12 and 13, 25 would be 5 dimensions to get through the first 2 quadrants. So we're getting there, and we're going to go a lot faster. It's going to be leaps and bounds from what they're saying, but the physical forms have got to be revised. We have to do physical work. That's just what we have to do.
And that's what they're pushing for right now. It's the physical form. So a lot of people are going to be told to sleep. A lot of people are going to be either up and not sleeping for weeks, or they're going to be sleeping a lot.
Or both. 1 week on,
one week on, 1 week off. Lots of integration, like your body, and to be honest with you, your higher self will do what it has to make sure that you stay in bed. So if these could be flu-like symptoms, it could be, I don't know. They knocked me out for 4 months one time. to make sure that I integrated properly. So
I just went
I
to
was like in the physical body, so it could be it depends. It depends on how much resistance you're in. That's what they resistance. Oh, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And mine, when they put me through the hip pain, where I mean, I could not move, I could not get up, I could not stand. I mean, it was, oh, anyway, that was a
Isn't
whole
it
week of
funny
that.
though? I know. And then they're like, we have to, you have to go do this, and that, and get your book done, and then you get knocked out for a whole week. And I was like, what is that? Like, I wanted to go talk to your higher self. Like, what are you doing up there? I was like, or not
But
up there, but in there, because they're actually in us anyways.
true. And
So
I laugh because again, but our higher selves know who we are, who, you know, our personality, the soul personality of who we are. And by doing it that way, I'm one of those people that if you tell me I can't do something, then I definitely will do it, you know, kind of thing. So when I wasn't allowed or wasn't able to do the work, it just kept, you know, working on me like, I gotta get this done. I want to get this done. I want to get this done. So as soon as I was able to move and actually move around, I finished it. It was like that jump start that I needed to get the last section of the book done.
yeah,
So
you're
they
also being
knew.
you're being put on a new crystal system, and Stargate system was being activated too as well, which
Yes,
we
I
went over
was.
that in one of your videos. So which is fun. We're gonna get into those more because I started doing activations for them for people, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty
The
cool.
biggest point is accept the unaccepted, or you know, whatever it is, unacceptable,
The
because
unexpected.
in both, because it's like change is going to happen, and the more we go, okay, whatever, this is what I'm feeling led to do, this is what my guides are telling me to do, this is what feels important to me, and this is how I'm just going to keep going with it.
Yep.
And there's so many times, I mean, my poor calendar of, okay, this is what I want to accomplish today, and yet I end up, you know, just moving it to the next day. Okay, well, didn't get to that today, and being okay with it because I know I got done what needed to be done. Because as we continue shifting these timelines and keep jumping these timelines within, you know, our own quantum field and the quantum universal field, everything changes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bizarre but wonderful to watch how things unfold.
I know. I'm actually really, really excited. Kind of until it comes, and I'm like, no, okay, because it shows you where you are in your comfort zone too.
Sure.
If you're able to step out of your comfort zone, how much resistance are you in for change? So I'm hoping mine switches from being like, oh God, okay, fine. And I just put my little toe through the plasma field. I'm going to do it.
I'm doing really well at that because now it gets to the point of going, oh wow, I wonder what this is going to bring.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I wonder what this is going to
It's
do.
it's awesome because change shows me how much my resistance is.
Yeah.
And that's what I love, looking at it and being like, wow, there's so much resistance. Like my frequency changed. My council, my higher self, basically, obviously, my higher self wants me to change my name to my original name, which is Akasha, because they call me Akasha. And the Andromeda Council, my name is Akasha, and that's what they say. So they're like, this is what you're going to change everything to Akasha, and I'm like, okay, but I've been Jupiter moons for so long. So this is where what they're doing is stepping me out of my comfort zone right there, really, really pushing me. And then I could see the resistance. Well, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if people don't like it? What if this? It's amazing what was coming up just to get this push.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, it doesn't matter because this is what it's on the highest timeline. It's Akasha Azurite. This is what you want your highest timeline and your highest frequency name. Here we go. There you go. So go. And I'm like sitting there going, but what if this? What if that? It's amazing. It's amazing just to look at our resistance to change and resistance to change. And I'm like, all right. So I started
And I'm
building
so
it.
proud of you because you did your own website. You are
I
doing an
know.
excellent job, and you've got your new name on it.
Yep.
It's great.
Yep. I'm really excited about it. I did it all by myself.
Yes.
Somewhat. Some of no. I wouldn't say all, because all my higher selves were sitting, because my council to me is, I know that there's some councils that are dimensional beings, but the majority of my councils are my higher selves in different multidimensional, different aspects. So they helped me with it too as well. And then I did a lot of stuff. I actually like designing websites
Yeah, me too.
now. It's actually pretty fun. I was like, I want to do another one too eventually. It's pretty cool. I didn't realize how much I love designing. I didn't realize how artistic I was doing this. I didn't realize how creative I am. I told you I want to do a clothing line next. So it's going to be my next thing, because I realized I like creating. I really do. I didn't realize that this is something that I really love to do unless I actually sat in there and started doing it. So that was a good transformation.
So yeah, your resistance to a name change and a name upgrade has brought you an awareness of some great things.
Yeah, and
You were resistant. It's all good.
it opened some major doors for me to start doing creative and designing and stuff. So
Awesome.
yeah.
All right. I've got a list for Sundays then, but hey.
Do you have anything else? Did you talk about the reality changes real quick? There's something else.
Yeah. For the realities, I think the biggest thing, which I think I posted it yesterday, sometime, was the realization. Again, the question came up about truth and lies, and people asking about, well, this is my truth, and someone else may say, well, is it a lie or is it a truth? And the point is, it's both. And yes, a truth can be a lie. And the example that was given was, this is my truth, and then I learn additional information or another point of view or something which changes what I believe and what my truth is, which therefore just made the previous truth that was truth a lie. So it's that recognition that all truths are also a lie, because again, it's only the truth from what you can understand or have knowledge of in that given moment. And it becomes a request to not be so rigid in what your truth is, what your belief is, because knowing that it's always going to alter. Because as soon as we start getting defensive of, this is the right way, this is true, you've already lost the battle. You really have, which means that it's not truth, because we don't defend things. Instead, we want to learn more that is open. Because the other point that the example they gave is, if I stood in a room and held up my mug and asked everyone around me to draw what they saw, everyone would draw their vision, their truth, their belief of what they were looking at. And every single one of them would be true. Every single one of them would be what they believe. And they say, but that doesn't make any one truth, another one a lie. And the image they gave is, now stand above it and look above. When you, I just gave me chills. When you combined everyone's truth of what they see from their perspective, you have the all. You have the truth all of everything that there is. So it's like we have to begin to stop discounting people and what their truths are, because it's true for them. Because they show me that me, my infinite being, me, is in one particular spot in the latitude, longitude of the all, and that is my perspective. No one else can stand in my spot, because I occupy that space. You occupy your space. And so just by, even if we were next to each other in the infinitesimal, whatever measurement we wanted to use, the perspective would still be different. The belief and the sight would be different. The truth would be different. And especially when you add in the personality, the ego, the experiences we've been through, our genetics, our culture, all the rest of it. And it becomes, everyone is true. Everything is true. And that's why we push ourselves, when we recognize that, to learn more, to understand more, to be more accepting and understanding of what other people's viewpoints are, because we really do want that higher picture. Yeah. We really want to see, what is your perspective? What is your perspective? And it's not for me to go, you're right, I'm wrong, I'm right, you're wrong, any of that. It's a joining, it's a melding of what is everybody's perspective. So then we have the big, multi-dimensional view of what this is.
Everyone has their own truths, and that's something even in my teachings for like years I would tell them, by actually a teacher that actually taught me, is that find your own truths. People ask me, this and that, questions, and sometimes I would just answer, go and find your own truths. Your truth is your own truth. It's going to evolve and change. Your perception will change, but those are things that the knowledge you can go find and follow your heart. What do you want to start researching? Where do you want to start in spirituality? Go research and find it. Your truth is your own truth. All of us all have our own truths on this spiritual awakening process too. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Ideally, your truth will be revised every moment of every day.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe if your truth is the same thing as it was yesterday, you need to get your ass in gear, because our truth constantly changes, and that's the point of what my truth was yesterday is not what my truth is today.
Yeah, it's the light bulbs, the epiphanies. I have an epiphany probably every day now. Before, when I didn't, and I stuck so hard in my resistance. So you have your perception will start to change and change. Mine goes more onto unity consciousness. That's where I'm staying. For now, I really bringing back to the whole and into the unity within. So it's so the completion in unity within right now. So that's the Trinity, and that's where. So anything that's coming up right now for me that is not in that unity, that's where I need to shift, file up to the Oversoul, and say, here, I need you to purify this right now. I need this to be out. This is not in unity. This is not in wholeness. This is not in the one, the law of one, etc. Please take this program, cut the cords, whatever you got to do. Because I would sit there and I'd go, well, what's going on? Yeah. And then I really have to go in and dig and dig and dig and break down to see what is there. Why does this keep, coming up? Okay, so there is something I do want to say as far as my website go. I did have someone help me. Her name's Melody Augustine. I love you very much for helping me. I do want to say that because I appreciate her helping me with words and wording, because I'm very, 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 very energetic. So she helped me with writing my story. So everything's energy based. So me, I'm sit here and I'm like with writing, I get so what do I say? How do I say this? Because everything's so turning energy into words is, it's I'm not going to say hard for me, but that's a human word. So I'm going to say it can be difficult. There you go. That's also human form, but
it's not translate. Yes,
because I'm so energy based, so energetic. Everything is just light codes now. It's just I mean, I can write to you in light language all day long, but you won't understand that.
On that note, yeah.
But your higher self and your vibrational frequency will raise. Yeah. Okay, and then also anybody who's listening, become a Patreon with us, please. We have we offer sessions every single month, either from me or Allison. Okay, and then also I do light language transmissions that we'll be posting, and we also have some other fun stuff that we're going to tips. We're going to do tips for Ascension. We do also spiritual coaching as well. So just let us know. Become a Patreon. We would love for everyone to become members. So we want to help as many people as we can right now. Okay, and I think that's it for today. Do you have anything else, Allison?
I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, great. All right. We love you guys.